Roger out. It was about 40 minutes ago, sir, when they were requesting rules of engagement because they had a possible target.
At first, the Marines received reports that the Iraqi tanks had their turrets pointing to the rear, suggesting they might be giving up.
It looks like 2 battalions of Iraqis are wishing to surrender, and that they comprise approximately 80 tanks.
80 tanks?
80 tanks, yes, sir. And the Saudis are closing in on Khafji in 3 directions. So right now there's a slowdown in our firing due to the surrender, and then also the coordination with the Saudis and other allied forces so that we don't hit friendly fire.
But as American helicopter gunships swooped into the attack, it was clear the enemy had penetrated the border on 4 separate occasions. The total attack strength was thought to be 3 battalions, possibly up to 5,000 troops backed by tanks. Meanwhile, at a Saudi air base, Gatling guns were being loaded as American A-10 warplanes prepared to join the aerial assault on Iraq's ground troops. For these tank busters carrying armor-piercing bombs, it was to be their most successful combat day so far. It was later confirmed they'd helped to destroy 24 enemy tanks, though pilots claimed they may have hit as many as 41. The unopposed Allied airstrike was decisive, driving most of the Iraqi intruders back across the border. On the ground, skirmishes continued all day, the Western forces holding a defensive line, while Arab soldiers from the coalition took on Iraqis in the streets of Khafji. TOW missiles aimed at enemy troops still trapped in the town, so the Allies have plans to evict them.
Well, I expect we're going to go up and spank them. That's what we're going to do. And they probably ought to call 911 right now. I expect we'll go expel them rather violently, rather shortly.
If they're there today, we'll get them between our air and our artillery.
Both sides are claiming today's action as a success. The Allies say the Iraqis were lured out of their defensive positions. Baghdad claims that many Allied units were destroyed. Whatever the truth, it's resulted in the biggest and bloodiest land battle so far. It is ironic that the first Allied fatalities of this war were suffered not liberating Kuwait, but defending a small Saudi Arabian town.
To their overall military plan, what happened in Khafji today will change nothing. General Schwarzkopf insisted they'd not been caught napping.
No, I don't think we were taken by surprise. As I said, there was nobody. Khafji had been abandoned. Okay, we had outposts in this area. The outposts reported exactly what we expected them to report. In essence, the Iraqis that went into this area went unopposed. The Iraqis that went into these other areas were opposed and, in fact, returned back.
In Baghdad, however, Iraqi authorities used cable news network to release a triumphant statement.
Our forces have managed to enter the Saudi coastal town of Khafji at this midnight, 29:30 of January. The Almighty bestowed upon the believers an astounding victory when the blasphemy camp collapsed.
Iraq's troops in Kuwait have suffered constant bombardment. This attack could have been their response.
I doubt this has taken place without Saddam's knowledge, and I would think that he has said to his people, look here, you're being shelled at night, artillery is being brought forward by these people and shelling you, patrols are coming up and having a look at things, it's time you did something.
The Iraqis' strength lies in their deeply dug-in positions in Kuwait. What they want is for the Allies to attack towards them and suffer heavy casualties from their mines and guns. The Iraqi action last night could have been an attempt to provoke the Allies into doing that. But if that was the plan, it failed. There's much speculation that the Allies' tactic will be to attack northwards directly into Iraq and come round from the north to cut off Iraqi forces in Kuwait. Iraq's Republican Guards would have to emerge from their dugouts to counter that attack, making them much more vulnerable to Allied air power. But such a tactic would have its disadvantages.
The main problem for a long flanking move round to the west will be to sustain the hundreds of tanks involved in that move. They will require fuel, they will require ammunition, they will require rations. And the long line of communications is a difficult logistic problem, particularly when that move will end. The point of that move is to kill the strategic reserve, the Republican Guard. There will be a large tank battle, and we have to make sure that all the right pieces are in the right place at the right time.
The Allies say the war is going according to plan, but it seems the Iraqis will want to inflict heavy casualties on Allied ground troops before they give up.